let you get to me once now, baby, but I'll never let you win the game.
Rippa On Da Beat, bitch.
I'll let you get to me once now, baby, but I'll never let you win the game.
Let me hear it.
You got to cover it up. You like to play your own game. Got to cover it up. Don't let them know what you're thinking. I bet you never tell them how it feels. I bet you never even try to be real.
I went straight into it, no guards, handing over.
So, welcome to Trappin Ain't Dead, another day, another dollar. Peak game. It's your boy Munch. I'm here with my co-host.
Hey,
Janéy.
Munch.
What's good?
Everything's good.
Everything's
I
good?
could say that. I could finally really mean that on the mic.
So you just happy. You just happy with life right now.
I'm happy with life. Things are going good, so I'm happy about that. What about you? How you doing?
I'm progressing. I'm alive. I can't complain. Anything else would be uncivilized. So, you know.
You're crazy. I'm really excited about our guest. I think we should just jump right in. She needs no introduction, but we can still give her one.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
Miss, I don't know if I say this, I'll give it away. Miss Modern Day Fannie Lou. Hey, yeah. Valencia Gunder is joining us today, guys.
Friend.
Hi. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank y'all for having me again.
Yes,
Hey.
we always love talking to you, as always.
Last time I was on the show, y'all came to me because I was exhausted after the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the show title was Hurricane Irma Was a Bitch. I remember that
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Irma was a
Bad
bitch.
bitch.
Irma was a bad bitch. That's what it was.
And
yeah.
I couldn't curse because, you know, if you put curse words in the damn title, it's
I
gonna be in the
know.
code, and Apple gonna take us down again. So yeah,
Oh, interesting. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
yeah, it was some
I know
bullshit.
Facebook does it too.
Yeah, Facebook do it to an extent, but they ain't like, yeah.
But
Apple
Irma was
on
a bad bitch, though.
Irma was a bad one. She sucked the nigga dry.
Literally.
Remember that shit?
Literally, like an island nigga, too. Sucked
You
them
know what I'm
dry
saying?
and made it rain on our ass. She was a bad bitch.
But
Sucked the
so
whole beast dry.
we were talking a little bit before he started recording, and I know you got a lot of great things going on with your foundation. And so you told me about a name change. So I called it Make the Homeless Smile. What's the new name, and why did you come up with the new name?
So everybody knows that we've had the nonprofit for 5 years. Hey. And it was called Make the Homeless Smile. And I came up with that name because when we first set out, it was really focused on homelessness. We were only serving homeless populations. And over time, like, we started feeding the hood. Like, we feed anybody. Like, families call us for food, we feed them. After the hurricane, we fed 18 neighborhoods, 23,000 people. I mean, we done went to Flint, Michigan. We in the Panhandle. We're in Atlanta. We done been to Detroit. Like, we go wherever. We send food wherever, you know? And some people who are good friends of the organization just always, like, first of all, y'all don't even use the whole name. Like, people think y'all are the Smile org. Like, y'all shirts just say Smile on it.
Yeah.
Y'all really put that word to the forefront. Maybe y'all should think about a name change. I was kind of nervous because Make the Homeless Smile did grow a lot of recognition.
Mm-hmm.
However, I got some professional feedback. I talked to a lot of friends. I mean, I even talked to Munch about it, about doing the name change. And we did it the proper way, brought in some professional PR folks to walk us through the process of actually changing it. And we played around with words for about 2 weeks. It was a lot. And we actually went through this process of trying to figure out, like, what our purpose was and why we do what we do. And one of the things that I always pride myself on is that we're extremely transparent as an organization. People know when they donate to us, they know exactly where the donations are going. They know how much money we're getting in, where the money is going, and how we're using it, who we're using it for. And I always feel as if we built a lot of trust in our community. So that's where the word trust came from. And also, you know, the more financial definition is like a place where you can put assets to hold and protect. So that's why we chose the word trust. And of course, smile, because our whole goal is to bring smiles and happiness and hope to our community. I really like the word smile. Like, we have so much anger and depression and every sadness in our community. So when we serve, we want people to be happy. We want people to know that we're going to bring happiness. We're going to bring food. We're going to bring nourishment. We're going to bring that hope to the community. So that's why we chose the Smile Trust.
I love it. That's a great story. And
Thank you.
It's a good name. Like, I think that's a good transition from what you were into, like, where you're growing as well. So, you know, congratulations on the name change.
Thank you so much.
So moving along, because it's, you know, that's my best friend. She does so much dope shit.
And it's my best friend.
Yeah. So you do so much dope shit that I wanted to kind of get into some of the recent stuff you was doing. You had the opportunity to take me up the road with you when you do what you do. We went to Tallahassee for what, 3 days, 2 days, 3 days?
3 days,
3 days. And tell them what you was working on.
So, for those who don't know, I think everybody in South Florida knows I'm a returning citizen. Back in 2010, I was facing 3 years prison time. I didn't serve any prison time, thank God. Was put on paper after serving a few weeks in the county. Well, they extradited me across the state. And while I was incarcerated, I didn't know that the extraditing process means that they bounce you around from facility to facility until you get to where you're going. Mm-hmm. In my ignorance, I thought that they was going to put me in a van in Miami-Dade County and take me straight to Leon County. No. So they bounce you to facility to facility. So if you've never been to jail before, especially in certain facilities when you are a felon or you get a felony charge, you have to go through a certain check-in process. So you got to squat, cough, like the strip search, cavity search, and whatnot. And that's every facility you go in. New mugshot, new fingerprints, new uniform, right? And what was happening with me, I had my menstrual cycle on the entire time. I'm stressing. So for women, y'all know that either you don't have it because you're stressing, or it comes on and it be real heavy because you're stressing. Mm-hmm. And mine was on real heavy. Because of stress, I mean, I just had finished being homeless. I was only home a month and a half. Got pulled over. I had a warrant out for my arrest. Damn. Yeah. While I was in BSO, they was denying me sanitary napkins. And I was just like, is they supposed to do this? But at the time, I'm just focused. I just need to get out of here. Like, I don't want to cause any trouble, but they wouldn't give me sanitary napkins. I mean, I was soiling myself. They put me in the back of a van with these men.
Before you go too far, what does soiling yourself mean for the men out there?
Okay, so it's pretty much, I didn't have a pad on. I was using tissue, and I was bleeding through. On myself in the facility. And honestly, for a long time, I did not want to tell my story of my incarceration. One, because I'm like, I'm becoming this community leader, and if I tell people that I'm a returning citizen, people are not going to trust me, right? Secondly, you know, in the world, like, you can't get a job, you can't get housing, all these things they stop you for, even if you paid your debt to society. Mm-hmm. So I had kept that hidden for a long time. And then secondly, I definitely didn't want to tell anybody that I was bleeding on myself for days, because that's embarrassing for a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, and in 2017, I'm at a conference in Detroit, and they asked me to share a story of redemption, or second chances in so many words. And that was my first time telling my story of my incarceration publicly. And I told a story about how they refused to give me sanitary napkins in the facility. Now, mind you, this room of people are people who work on criminal justice reform around the country. So some of these people in the room have been to prison before. It was women in there who fought their own cases to get off of death row. Like, it's those type of people who have changed policy and shut down prisons around America, sitting all in this room. And I see all of these women, they starting to tear up. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Because even though I still think my experience with incarceration was harsh, I still make sure I check my privilege, because I know people who serve 10, 15, 25 years, you know. So, like, I don't try to take up too much space. But these women approached me, and they first checked me. They was like, incarceration is incarceration. So don't let nobody belittle your experience. And then secondly, all of the women were like, we know exactly what you're saying. And then I stopped, and I was like, wait, I thought that was just happened to me. But now, after these few years, I found out that thousands of women around the country have faced this same exact thing. And then it was hundreds of women who was fighting it in different states. So I found out about the Dignity for Incarcerated Women Act. And at this time, they were introducing it in Kentucky, Louisiana, Vermont, California. And this legislation was passing. But I waited because Amendment 4 was at the forefront. And I didn't want to take any attention away from Amendment 4 because Amendment 4 was one important to me and especially to the communities that I care most about in the state of Florida. And I wanted to support the FRRC, so I put all my stuff to the side and I made sure I was on the forefront for Amendment 4, knocking doors in the hot sun, whatever I had to do to get it passed because we needed it. But right after that, I was ready. So we started by contacting a lot of incarcerated and formerly incarcerated women. I had my first meeting at Tribe in Overtown. I had 75 formerly incarcerated women show up, and 75 women all understood and knew exactly what I was talking about.
Why can't women get sanitary napkins in jail?
Right.
The fuck?
So that's what the question we asked. So
like I can't control that. That's like me not being able to breathe. Like
I don't know who these people were in our state legislature who thought it was a good idea that we could put a quantitative number on how many sanitary napkins a woman could get or how much it should be charged and all of this good stuff. And honestly, certain facilities was giving it, some facilities weren't, right? But my thing was if it's happening at one facility, it's happening at too many facilities. But we found out it was happening across the state. Like, I met women who were in Lowell prison. Miss Marissa Alexander actually came to Tallahassee with me one time to speak. Marissa Alexander, her case came up right after the Trayvon Martin murder happened.
That was the one with
the
the
stand your
ground.
The stand your ground. Yeah, she actually came out and she told a story too. Like, these women, we met women who have served time just as recent as 3 months before we started going to Tallahassee to women 30 years ago.
Wow.
Everybody saying the same thing, like, yeah, this happened to me. We found out women are being raped in facilities. Women are being, punished because they don't want to give sexual favors. And
to whom?
To guards.
COs,
We found out that women were being denied soap, tissue, deodorant, lotion, basic needs. Like, we're not asking for privilege. We're asking for basic necessities. So, y'all know we had a new governor, and I was actually nervous at the fact that this new governor is not the most progressive guy.
Yeah.
But I did have some hope because at the beginning of the year, Donald Trump had signed the First Step Act. And in the First Step Act on the federal level, the Dignity for Incarcerated Women Act was in the package. So I was like, okay, we may do something because he may follow Donald Trump's lead on this. So we started organizing women on the ground first, right? Before you go to me, before you try to step to legislators, you should talk to community first.
Agreed.
My experience in the facility doesn't mean that that's everybody's experience. So I had to go talk to people. I went up to Jacksonville, had a meeting, talked to women in Miami. I was talking to women in Orlando, in Volusia County. And I was sending legislators into the facilities. So Senator Pizzo went into like 3 or 4 facilities. Rep Jones, Chevron Jones was going to facilities. Tracy Davis out of Broward was hitting facilities. I mean, everybody. And when we put the legislation in, after we workshopped it with the ladies, we started getting a lot of support. And what was so surprising was it wasn't just Democrats. Republicans were signing on.
Yeah.
They were looking, and Munch was there. These politicians was like, wait, this is actually happening?
Yeah.
Crazy. Nobody knows that it's
So it was crazy. One, it was crazy to see that so many politicians don't know, And I found it. That's my whole thing is like my approach to politicians is a lot of times they don't know about stuff because they stuck in that office and they relying on us to basically to tell them what's going on, which at the same time they should be proactive in going out. But they some of these state legislators have a big a lot to cover, a lot of ground to cover. And so with that being said, I wanted to ask, like, what was your thoughts about the situation that happened in Broward County with the woman who had to basically give birth in jail?
So it's a few things. One, let me explain to you
is there any action being taken?
Yeah. So the actual legislation was two parts. One was to give all women incarcerated women and girls, in any state, federal, or county facility, free and unlimited access to personal hygiene products, including tampons, pads, tissue, toothpaste, toothbrush, no-lye soap, and moisturizing lotion, right?
Which sounds so standard.
Right, but it wasn't. And the second part was to stop male officers from conducting strip searches and cavity searches on women, and also monitoring women in the state of undress, so in showers or the bathroom space and different places where they have to be undressed, to try to stop some of the sexual harassment and assault that was happening in the facilities. When we workshopped the bill, because the proper thing, too, is also to look up to see if some legislation already exists.
What does that mean when you say workshop the bill?
Well, a lot of people don't do this, but we had an idea of what we wanted in the legislation, but what we did was we created all of these different community meetings with formerly incarcerated women, and we asked them how they felt about the legislation, asked them for their experiences, and they helped us actually mold the bill to be something that the community would be happy about, right? Yeah. It wasn't just something me and three people sat in a room and came up with. We literally took it, and there was a lot of back and forth. It wasn't not bad back and forth. It was a good conversation, and we took some pieces out and we added some pieces. And now, honestly, I got the call about Miss Tammy Jackson right when I was heading up to Tallahassee the last time for Dignity. Mm-hmm. And the news called me for a statement, and I'm like, what? I didn't even know what happened till the news called me about it, because they were doing an investigation on it, and they knew that we were doing work around women in facilities.
Mind you, I guess from last week, A1 was snapping on Facebook.
Yeah, because that's his good friend.
That's his good friend, yeah.
They known each other for a long time, and I understand. And I was heading up to Tallahassee because we was going to our final vote for Dignity, and I almost got upset with myself because in the state of Florida, they banned shackling pregnant women while incarcerated. I think back in 2012. So I'm like, maybe it's a whole bunch of legislation around pregnant women in facilities. So I didn't add anything in my legislation to protect pregnant women. Mm. And when that happened, I got really mad at myself because I'm like, damn, V, this should have been a part of your legislation. But it also pushed me to make sure that, one, the legislators did not botch my legislation, because everything that we had in there, the women wanted, and we have to make sure it stays. And secondly, it also opened my eyes to more work that I need to do. Mm. So what's been happening around Miss Tammy, I at first was going to just stand all the way back and not touch it. I know that A1 up in Broward was doing some stuff. He did a community baby shower for Miss Tammy, which was amazing. Starrex blessed the family. So I was just helping behind the scenes financially. Like, A1, what you need, sending him resources. I gave Starrex a large donation too. And I kind of sort of felt as if, okay, V, that's enough. But I had to stop and was like, no, V, it's not. You're changing legislation. You're actually focusing on incarcerated women. You have to do more than that. So I created this statement with the list of demands, and I directed it to the AG, to the sheriff.
Who's the AG?
I don't know.
Attorney General?
The Attorney General. Oh, sorry. I don't know the man's name.
I had to ask.
Yeah, the Attorney General. I sent it to Broward State's Attorney, Broward Public Defender, Broward Sheriff, Sheriff Tony, and I sent it to the governor. And I'm like, this is our list of demands. We want people, one, not just held accountable, not just suspended, but we want people fired and we want people arrested. Anybody who was supposed to assist her and help her. Secondly, we want to end all solitary confinement for pregnant women because they put pregnant women in solitary confinement while they're incarcerated. Secondly, we want to know.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. I didn't even know that one.
I'm getting
They put
uncomfortable.
pregnant
This is
women
bothering me.
in solitary confinement. Now,
Yes.
it's a part of me that says, okay, that's for precaution. We don't want them in there, and then it's 2 people dead instead of 1 because they done got in a fight and some stuff, right? A safety thing. But then it's like, how are y'all monitoring this person? You get what I'm saying? If they're pregnant, anything can happen. In a matter of seconds, in hours, they'll not come by.
She screamed
Wow.
for help for hours. For hours. She gave birth to her own baby, and she detached the umbilical cord herself.
strong
One,
as
she's a
shit.
strong black woman
Strong black woman.
to be able to survive that,
Right?
She knew exactly what to do to make sure her baby was safe. So I want to give her a shout out as a mother.
Yeah.
For real, because honestly, they are trying to make it seem like she has all these mental illnesses, she's on drugs, and she don't know what she was doing. But apparently,
She knew.
she knew exactly what she was doing. So shout out to Miss Tammy for being strong and delivering a healthy baby.
Yeah.
And then staying alive through it herself,
Yeah.
right? Because I've never gave birth to a child before, but all of the women that I've been working with lately, they tell me how hard it is to give birth to a baby, even with assistance from a doctor and a surgeon and with medicine.
Yeah.
And she had none of that. So shout out to her for being strong. And then I found out that she's actually trying to get clean, stay clean. She's been working with community to be better. So that made me feel good. And that's what also made me say, V, you do have enough capacity to try to change the rules and regulations and the process and procedures, right? And then when I found out that 2 weeks before that, it was another lady. Her name is Pamela Glover. Nobody knew her story, but she also gave birth to her baby inside of a cell in the same facility.
By herself?
Yes, it happened.
Instead of what?
Inside the same facility 2 weeks before Tammy did.
Wow.
Yes, another black
What
woman.
the fuck, Broward on?
I don't know, but it needs to be a full investigation on Broward Sheriff's Office about
instead
how
of worrying
This is
about
disgusting.
old ass situations that happened in BSO. I know you can't say it, but I will.
No, I can.
How
Shit.
the
No, we need you to
fuck
get the bag.
Could you be okay as a human being
Right.
to be okay with this?
Right.
Anybody in there who know that shit happened. You get
Right.
Like that's the stuff that bothers me. It's okay when not okay, but there are bad apples, but if I see somebody else doing some fuck shit, I'm just as guilty
Yes.
if I don't say nothing. Who
Yeah.
the
Absolutely.
fuck thinks it's okay
Yeah.
for women to give birth by themselves?
Right. Or not give her the proper assistance she need. Like all you
Because
had to
they're
do was call the nurse.
criminal. They don't deserve
Right.
human rights.
And
And that's the whole purpose
Per-
of
per-
behind dignity.
yeah.
Like just because a person addresses a certain thing, her being in that cell does not change the fact that she's a human
already
being
know.
and that she was pregnant and giving birth to a child, right? So not only did they hurt her, they should be charged with child neglect and child
Yeah.
abuse because that child was put in danger also. So,
And their babies are okay.
yes, the babies are okay. Now, the whole DCF process is a whole nother fight. But Miss Tammy is home with her family, safe and healthy. Miss Pamela is still inside of the jail. We could talk about these probation. I mean, not probation, but bonds. Her bond is 5 G's. Her family don't have the
fuck?
money to get her out.
$5,000.
It's $50K, but
It's
you know you
50
got to put
yeah,
the
pay
5
the
G's
5,000.
down.
But I'm just saying, and that goes to show about just
Right.
finance and
And-
poverty.
Right, absolutely.
Because
Because
I'm sure all of us in here
Yeah.
could get somebody to put up $5,000.
right, but she can't.
She can't.
And,
Shit, I know it, but it's
No,
gonna
and I
take a
get
minute.
that.
I'm gonna have to sit a day.
I get that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. Some of us may get out the same day, but it's some people
Gotta sit.
they're gonna sit. And you
And
know,
that's
and
sad.
truth be told, it's niggas in there right now for $100,
$300.
$300 bail, bro. Like, you feel me?
Facts.
And they can't get out, dog.
And I'm not gonna even lie.
If I ain't have $100 in my pocket that time I went, literally they took that money and told me I couldn't use it. I told my old girl, put that shit on credit or whatever the fuck you got to do. I got that shit when I get out.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And they took like $50 from me, you know. So fuck TGK.
Right. They lost all my clothes too. But
and then want to cut a check.
I had the mentality at first that I was going to try to raise the 5,000. But I was like, V, slow down. Because I'm really good. Y'all know me. I pop up last minute and throw something up on social media and the whole thing. But I had to think about the legal side of it, like who's going to sign her out, this whole thing. And then at the end of the day, I have to learn that it's not just my task by myself to do everything. So that's how come I like just stood to the back and just like help the people who was like taking lead on it. I did write the statement behind it, and I'm going to do some follow-up around the policy and procedure piece because that's my wheelhouse in it. But, yeah, I kind of sort of want to fall back, but I do want to get Miss Pamela out of there. She needs to come home because we are rattling the fence. All of us, we've been making a lot of noise around it, and she is sitting inside of that facility still, and I'm afraid that retaliation is happening toward her. The guards may be mistreating her. And I haven't heard anything, but I'm afraid that is what is happening.
Because she came forward with her story?
Yeah.
Yes. So that was a very sad situation. I was extremely hurt. I was upset about it. I want to thank Laren Livingston for breaking the story, being unapologetic, right, about it, because it's sometimes hard to get these type of stories told. But we want more accountability. Fuck that. Because had a man made his wife do that and locked her in a room and forced her to do that, he would be in prison, going to prison for kidnapping, harming a pregnant woman, probably an attempted murder charge, and child abuse or child neglect on a child. So why isn't the people of the Department of Correction not held to the same standard? It's the same exact thing. So we are asking, and I mean, people around the country has been calling us, what's going on? We held off for the first 2 weeks because we wanted Miss Tammy out of there first. Like, we have to understand that our actions affects those on the other side of that fence, you know? But she's home. We got to get Miss Pamela home. Her name is Pamela Glover. That's the other young lady who had her child inside of the facility, and we need to get her home also. Her bond is 5 G's if somebody has it, or if y'all want to patch up and get her home. I got a little small donation to help on that. I ain't got the whole 5 G's. I know some people may think I do, but I don't. If I had it, she would have been home. And we do need to discuss, like, these cash bails. We need to discuss the safety and the health of women while incarcerated, because they talk about prison reform all over the country, but women ain't to the forefront of that conversation.
At all.
And the statistics is showing that the male population of incarcerated people is dropping, which is a good thing, amazing. But the women's incarceration rate is rising 700% in the last 10 years. And guess how many black women it is? 68%.
What the fuck?
It's black women.
You say that, and the first thing came up to my mind is women are rising, preferably black women, right? Uber fuck up. Me and Suzanne McDowell had this conversation. Uber fucked up with a sexual harassment.
Brought
a black woman in. The United States government, Eric Holder stepped down. They brought a black woman in to fix the shit. First lady, who the best first lady in history? Black woman. You know what I'm saying? When we look at what's the other situation with Diddy, who's Diddy's financial advisor? A black woman. So I attribute that, like, enemy number one was the black man. You feel me? And I feel like because, all right, they did their dollar, now it's our thing, like, we gotta, they on the rise. This is what we could do to knock them down. I feel like it may, I don't want to say it is, but I feel that way.
And then also, Because I think especially when they implemented big government, so that's food stamps, housing, and all that shit, and it was like the black man can't be in the house, so they forced black women to start taking on roles or whatever. Even though black women have always been strong, I don't know why they try to make us seem like we was idle ass people who stood behind our man. It ain't never been that in our community, so we need to stop with that foolishness. But what ended up happening was, I guess they thought that would break the black woman, but black women still rose out of that shit. We rose out of the projects. We rose out of poverty. We got our education. We the most that we leading entrepreneurs in the country. We getting all the degrees. Most
fastest growing ethnic group.
And we are controlling votes.
Yep.
So they have to start hitting at us certain ways. And I think this whole thing around incarceration was going so long and people wasn't paying attention to it. And it is something that we need to start paying attention to. And most women, especially black women, are incarcerated, and the statistics to prove all of this stuff, are incarcerated for either domestic violence. So they finally fought the fuck back after being beat all these years. So they protected patriarchy, right? So they in there for fighting back, or they're in there for crimes of poverty. So food stamp fraud and stuff like that. And I'm not saying everybody who do food stamp fraud is innocent or whatever. You get what I'm saying? But they are locking black women up for some of the smallest things ever. And it's happening in alarming numbers. And then Florida houses the largest women's prison in America. Okay?
Wow. Where?
And it's in Ocala. It's Lowell. I think it's in Ocala or right around the Ocala area. Damn. Lowell in Central Florida. The largest women's prison in America is in Florida. Florida is incarcerating women.
Why we gotta be the number one and the most notorious shit? We got the most fraudulent fucking government.
A Florida man.
Florida man.
A Florida man.
We let Rick Scott be moved from the governor to the Senate after he defrauded fucking veterans. We let. Then we got the largest women's prison. We don't let felons get their rights back to vote.
We're the last 3 in the country. Like, it was bad.
What the fuck?
And y'all know, like, when it comes to mass incarceration, the actual model of mass incarceration was actually created by the Florida governor, post-slavery, on God. He wrote a whole book on, he called it The New Slavery.
Yep.
And he gave the plans of mass incarceration. Literally, the first electric chair was built in Tampa, Florida.
Let's talk about it.
And used in the state of Florida. Like, so when people talk about mass incarceration, Florida should be to the forefront. I just think we don't know the history. Also, when it comes to the war on drugs, people talk about the crack cocaine era. We house the largest cartel in the world here. People didn't look into the black communities in Miami. We was getting the drugs off the port. So imagine what the war on drugs looked like in South Florida.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
And y'all niggas talk about Harlem and shit in the 80s.
But you know what it was in Harlem and in California? They had people documenting shit.
Yeah.
And Florida just didn't.
Yeah.
And actually, another surprise, I'm writing a book about that. I'm talking about the crack cocaine era in Miami, but through a child's eyes, right? Because I haven't seen a book or a documentary about a child who grew up in the crack cocaine era, who had parents that was addicted and was incarcerated for. And then also, I haven't yet to see somebody actually do a documentary or write a story about how the crack cocaine era affected South Florida. Like, the coke was coming through our port. They was fighting over the drugs in our city.
Yeah, literally.
Like, before it got to New York, before it got to California, before it got anywhere, it got here first.
Yep.
You know? So I've been writing this book for about 2 years.
A lot of people like to talk about, Chapo and all that. That was Cali.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to realize, like, we had the Colombians, we had the Cubans, we had all that conflict, and then then when it get here, you got the Zoes stealing it. You know what I'm saying?
And not even that, the black people who was fighting over it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, and then we had the
that's
riots.
Why I say once they stole it, then they got it over here. Now it's a whole war and the struggle.
It was a lot, like.
And not to mention how much money got cleaned. You know, we
bank's
talk about
still here.
Yeah, that's money still here.
Right.
On infrastructure.
Right.
And it's still getting clean.
They wash their money in Miami. So and then too, just also to teach the world that Miami is not just the beach, right?
It ain't Disney World and South Beach.
Right. Like, we do have culture on the other side of the causeway. It's a whole lot of people who live over here that's dealing with shit. Miami is 60% at poverty or under poverty. So we have some of the most wealthiest people in the world here, and we have some of the most poorest people in the world here. And we have to discuss that. Like, I think that's the only way we're going to find the solutions until we realize, like, what the fuck is actually going on. And it's different ways to do it. I don't like to spend too much time on the research because then you get stuck in that and you don't end up doing no fucking work. But we still need to know what's going on and why it's going on. Why they come for our communities, why they coming for black women. I'm still trying to figure out that answer. Like, why are they incarcerating black women? I mean, I can only think of this one quote, like, teach a man something, you teach a man, you teach himself. But if you teach a woman, you can educate the world. And I think that's another thing, right?
Yep.
They thought taking a black man out of the house would break the black family, and it didn't. So I guess they probably like, oh, let's go after the black woman now. And they can't go after us too publicly, right? Because they know the black man gonna fire up at that point. Like, I think if they ever really want to see black men act a fool, they'll start killing black women in large numbers. But they won't do that.
I mean, it's starting to happen now. I mean, when you start, you know, my trap social, you know, I was a little lit. I was talking about that. You know what I mean? 'Cause I just feel it like, I feel like we at war. Never have I felt like we at war until they started knocking out black women. Before, I used to be like, yeah, the revolution ain't gonna be televised. But when I start seeing like it's deliberate, like Sandra Bland, you know, that woke me like, the fuck? And then I would see like the small patriarchy shit, like, you know, when we was working during the hurricane, the crackers really like kept coming to me, and I'm like, fuck you keep coming to me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why they not going to you? You know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to see shit that is just like black women coming up missing left and right. And I'm like, the fuck going on? You know what I'm saying? And it's just troubling. It's like now I'm at a point where I've been real quiet about what I choose to say, because it's like the shit I be ready to say. I was like, I know I can't, because then they going to be like, look, we going to have to knock this nigga off because he riling too many people up.
Yeah. And then, like, we populate the earth.
That
we gotta
too.
and then we just have to be careful. That's become certain conversations when it comes to like the relationship between black women and black men. I try not to really get into it too much, because I think we let like this, what I would call a soft society now, get into the middle of what is true between us as a community. Mm-hmm. Like, patriarchy is real as fuck, right? But I don't know why people try to make it seem like black women just been in these households soft as fuck for centuries. Like, who raised y'all? Because my grandma was never on that. None of my aunties either. Now, they did still, you know, uplift their man and let their man be the leader of their household, but they weren't in that house just letting nobody beat on them, and they was fighting the fuck back, or they was snapping the fuck off. Like, that's the black women I knew my whole life, even in my community, always been strong. Like, it never was like women are second. Like, I never felt like that growing up in a black family or in a black community ever, right? So that's the come I don't like to like dwell into the conversation too much, because when I get off social media and I walk into my community, like, I don't get disrespected by black men. I mean, black men sometimes disrespect me, but usually on the internet. In person, I am never disrespected by a black man. I don't feel threatened by black men. I don't feel disrespected by my sisters. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think we have it sometimes. We not perfect, child, please. But I don't want people to, like, we got to stop giving that type of narrative, like, shit just fucked up between us. It is not. It's not on that level. It is things we all have to fix. Black women need to fix shit. Black men need to fix shit. We need to be better for our children, of course. But I don't like the conversation that we've been having lately, trying to, like, pick this fight. And I also think that's a part of white supremacy, too, picking these little fights, and we nitpicking. Like, we have our own culture. They hate that we have our own culture, and it's our fucking thing, and they don't understand it, but they know they need to destroy it, right? And we allow them to so fucking often, and I do not like that.
I totally agree with you, and I think that mass incarceration is the big tool that they use to destroy us. Is there other legislation that you have going like I guess that you're working on in regards to mass incarceration, or how much of the picture do you think like that plays? Because I know I've heard different talks where it's like, okay, the black community needs jobs and economics and education, and they'll say these big topics that we need to address. How important do you think, or how much of a role do you think mass incarceration plays into that overall picture of what we need to fix as a black community?
Well, if everybody in jail and in prison, we ain't gonna need none of that in a second, because they're gonna give us the education they think we need.
Yep.
We're gonna house you and give you this cot and these 3 meals. So that is that. But I do believe mass incarceration is a huge thing, right? It is another form of slavery. Black people are affected by it. It is a huge piece. It's not the only thing we need to work on in our community. Because I work on several topics, several issues that I think affect our community. So I think all of it is equally important. Mass incarceration, education, apartheid, poverty, domestic violence, women's rights, protecting black men, black business, black journalism, black media. Like, I think it's all important. Like, we need it all. We need it all.
But how can we do it all? Because you know what, I see the same faces in the same rooms, and what I hear across the country is like that in every city. And it's like, we all can't do 10 things. Like, it's like, and it's like, it's not enough of us who are waking up to help, like, focus. So we could put a picture on it. So do you think we would need to focus on one thing and then go to something else? Or can we not afford to?
We can't afford to. It's bad. It's like a mother who is exhausted with 5 children, but she knows she can't just take care of 4 of them and leave 1 of them to the side. You got to take care of all 5 babies. You are right. Those of us who are actively out here trying to assist the black community, and don't get it twisted, I'm not just talking about activism. I'm talking about the black banker, the black investor, the black tech guy, the black hood person who growing fruit in their backyard, the black homeowner. Like, I'm talking about all of us who literally are doing this to make the culture better, right? Yeah. If that's you making T-shirts, if that's you writing poems, if that's you writing books, if that's you speaking at keynotes, you coming up with new strategies, if you making fucking maps and it's helping us, thank you, right? I think where we sometimes fail, and I do this myself too, we get so deep focused in the work trying to make the change that we fail to actually spread awareness and bring more people into the fold. And that's the part of the work. It's exhausting to do that work. So, for example, like the Peace in the Hood, right? That is, to me, the space where people come and learn new stuff, right? And that's how you get people more involved. So after, like, the housing thing, the housing workshop you had, I'm in the process of purchasing a home. Actually, I'm closing on my birthday.
Yay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Your birthday coming up, when is that?
June 10th.
Oh, happy birthday.
I turned 35. I'm an old frog now.
Girl, please.
You're an old frog. I ain't never heard
frog.
that one.
But after the conversation we had, like, some people stepped outside, we were talking, and it was this one sister, and she was just like, I've been saving up my money, I've been fixing my credit, but I just been trying to buy a house on my own. I've been having a tough time. Ivy gave her number, and I gave her another realtor number also, and some people who can help her. And she texted me like 2 weeks ago, and she was like, oh, I'm about to go into underwriting. Boom!
Yep.
Peace in the Hood worked.
Yep.
That's it. We got somebody else in there. And honestly, like, coming to Peace in the Hood, probably for some people, like, we tired, we done worked all day, we done did all these events, but we got to come, we got to learn, we got to keep coming, we got to keep coming, we got to keep doing it, right? And that is the hard part, getting out here in these communities and educating people, bringing them into the fold, meeting them where they are, right? Understanding that I know people do not know climate and environmental science the way that I know it. People don't understand maps the way that I know it. And when I go into these communities, I can't expect people to know that, right? But my job is to meet them where they are, to get them interested enough so they want to learn more, right? And that's why I think, like, podcasts like this, Peace in the Hood, and some of the other stuff like Felicia had them do office hours, and like Dr. Gibson be doing stuff at Ecotech, and Opalaka CDC be doing stuff, and just different people try to do these things. Like Hungry Black Man be doing things around culinary things, like all these little stuff. What is it? The National Black Journalism.
NABJ.
Yeah,
National
they
Association
doing
of
y'all
Black
trying to do
Journalists.
workshops and stuff like that, and that is the education, the mass educational piece that'll start bringing more people into the fold. So what you see is like this. One of my mentees, as a matter of fact, I got to put him in contact with you, Janéy. She is like, oh, I want to start writing. I always wanted to do a blog or whatever. And I told her about the group. And I was like, you should join. You should become a member. And they can help cultivate your blog and help you. And you can get a mentor and all of this stuff. And, you know, it's just like we're now building the spaces where people can come learn. And I think for a long time, we just be out here doing the work individually instead of creating systems and spaces where we could bring more people in.
That's true.
And I think
Same thing in business.
Right.
We was, not to cut you off or anything, but I know we was having a conversation a while back, and we was talking about black business, and we talked with StarX and some other folk, and we talk about the nature of how our businesses are created. Most of them are like a barber here. It's not saying that our businesses can't scale, but most times they don't scale because they're trying to do all the work. Black business don't get no flack. You know what I'm saying? They don't get no breaks. And we the first to shoot them down. So like there was a situation, and I go to this situation with a black businessman. My old girl, I messed up my mama's car, so I had to fix the car. I had to get the dent out. Lo and behold, I told her like, hey, I fucked up the car, but I'm finna go fix it. So it was a quick. I went to a body shop. I say, look, I'm going to go to a body shop that I know they black. We went to one out of Opalaka. Shout out to Tia, Simmons Auto Body. We went to them. So when we went to them, it was a time issue, right? Because at one point he told me it was going to be ready, and then it wasn't ready when he said it would. But I'm one of the people, I'm going to give you your time. If you tell me you want more time, my thing is if you want it done fast, it ain't going to get done right. So I was like, take your time and do it right rather than just try to rush it back to me. And I say all that to say, like, the reason why I was taking him longer is because he was telling me about the process of how he had to go through employees and trying to scale up. And then me and Tia always talk about trying to make his business better. And the scale, and it's so hard for him to scale because of the employees. But if you black, you're not giving him. My brother was like, no, I'm not giving him that because he did it. And I'm like, look, bro, that don't matter. And I'm like, look, bro, you can go to doggone, what it is, Ford, or Mercedes-Benz or one of these places because they have a whole ecosystem that's in place. We don't have an ecosystem. Like, you got to understand, the certification, I think is you get ASC certified. ASC certifications, that's a school board. Realize you can get that in high school. Realize you can go and get, and that certification is what gets you the job at these places. So they have created a training method and ecosystem in order to build that business, build that industry, let alone the business.
So you know what I think it is, and I had to learn this with the Smile Trust, and I've learned a lot in 5 years. Like, I was at the point where I was going to drop Smile Trust a few years ago because I just wasn't bringing in money. A lot of people don't know it wasn't until last year that I finally fundraised enough money for it to function on its own. I was fronting the money out of pocket. My whole staff is still all volunteer. I just have some dedicated ass people around me, thank God. Not for long though. I'm working. Sis out here getting the bag for my folks. But I understand. But you know what I had to do? I had to go educate myself. I know how to feed people. That ain't nothing. Like, I could pop up in the hood with a grill and feed 300 people in an hour. That's nothing. Mm-hmm. But what I didn't know how to do is run a nonprofit. And I think a lot of people are talented. They just don't know how to run business. Yeah. And I think as black people, we just have not taken the time to actually learn that. And you know one thing I think...
We don't have the time because we hustling.
Right. And see, that's the thing. Changing the hustle into a career or a business is the difference. But I'll say this. We need more business incubators in our community. Mm-hmm. Not to slow you down, but to teach you and help you get resources, right? Because I've been in rooms where people pitch ideas. It's just a vision. They ain't got no pitch deck, no nothing, and people giving them $2 million. Okay? Off of just words. We don't even think that big. And I get it, because you just like, I got to feed my family, I get my bread, whatever. But then, like, for example, Ernisha.
But we don't even know somebody would do that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. We
don't
don't
even,
know.
the information, like, we don't know that.
But you
can
know
go
what?
It
talk
sounds
and
like
get some
too
money.
strenuous of a process, and I gotta be lucky in order to get it.
You don't
And
have
it's
to
not
be.
really
You
like
got to
that.
be willing to work hard. So,
Dedication.
for example, Ernisha Randolph from Shuckin' and Jivin' and Sweet Butter. I love Ernisha. I consider her one of my mentors because I've seen Ernisha grow.
Yeah, I
But
love
not
her too.
just she's slinging plates,
Trap
but
kitchen.
Ernisha took the time to learn business.
Yeah.
She scaled it. All her children are entrepreneurs. Come on.
All
Her siblings are entrepreneurs. They don't work for nobody.
None of them.
Right?
Not none of
Ernisha
them.
came from humble beginnings too. She was a teenage mother.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Now, at first, she was just catering, doing food here and there, doing food here and there. But she took a step back. I need to learn how to do business because I want my family to be wealthy. I want to hire employees. I think she probably have like 20 or 30 employees
Easy,
now.
yeah.
She not only has a restaurant, now her restaurant has grown.
Yep.
She still do Sweet Butter. She has stuff in the grocery stores, right?
And she catering.
She has an industrial kitchen
Yep.
where she caters, and she's trying to create a kitchen incubator to
Incubator.
teach other caterers how to do it. And on top of that, she has big catering contracts with the county and the state and stuff like that. So she figured out a way to take her passion. She created a business and she built wealth, not just for herself and her family, but for the rest of the community. So she's been able to hire all these people in her community, in her restaurants, in her community where she grew up at,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So she put money right back into her community. She hiring people out of her community to help them. And guess what? She only got a high school diploma, right? So she didn't need to have all this extra education. She worked hard. She went and got the education that she needed to grow, and she's doing it. And that is admirable. Like, people should be doing exactly what Ernisha did with whatever business you have. And it is hard. Ernisha been out here, 10, 12 years? Like, it ain't happening in a year. They see Felicia Hatcher. That didn't happen in 2 years.
She had an icicle. She had a
Come on,
icicle
Munch.
popsicle business.
Right, and Felicia dropped out of college. Like people, and she
Yeah.
talks about that. Like it's a struggle, and she's a mother of two. Ernisha got 3 babies.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mind
And
you-
had to raise her siblings.
And had to raise her siblings because the passing of
Her mom.
Yeah.
So it's just like those type of things. So it can't happen. You just gotta know that it doesn't happen overnight, right? And even like people look at y'all know Super Scent.
Yeah.
I love her.
Me
That's
too.
my girl. And I'm so proud of her and her husband. But I've been following Super Scent, 6-7 years when she was doing her little blogging on YouTube.
Yeah, doing the videos. I
Right.
found her on Facebook.
When she was doing the
making
story time with
Yeah,
Super.
story time.
So people don't know, like, she been out here grinding 8-9 years before she hit that mill overnight. Like, this ain't, like, that didn't happen overnight. She grind for that. She had to take a step back and learn business. How do I mass produce, mass ship? How do I make sure I get warehouse space? How I make sure I don't run out of product? Make sure I'm having product control, quality control, making sure my customers are happy. You know, how do I teach myself better that I'm not responding on social media every time somebody do something I don't like? You know, she had to teach herself that because, you know, she from New Orleans. She used to snap the fuck off on social media. She has learned better, and like to see her grow, and I'm just like, that's how you do it. But it took years. So I think when we think about black business, it don't happen like that. Like even with Trappin Ain't Dead, All Like Mine's, like, y'all been out here a long time. People think this is new.
3 years,
It's
2016.
not.
I was just talking about
It's not. Y'all.
that.
It took y'all all this time. Y'all had to get all this equipment, do all this stuff. Y'all done went through all the different logos and different strategies and stuff like that to grow it to this today. And people see it now. They're like, oh, this is so good or whatever. Like it popped up overnight. No, it did not. Y'all took a lot of loss.
Shit, we
Lot
still
of-
taking losses.
Right.
That shit come out of my pocket. What do you mean?
Right. So
God bless Munch.
when we talk about
Trappin' Ain't Dead.
that part. So when we talk
know?
about growing black business, I think a lot of black people are talented. We have amazing talent in our community. We need to learn business. And we need to learn how to build wealth and then how to prioritize, right? When to sacrifice, when to step up, when to step back. and understanding that not all the pieces have to be put in place at the same time. You know, it took years. I have a nonprofit. Yeah, I know. And I still work a full-time job. People don't know that, but I do. And since the episode gonna drop, I'll just announce it on the show. I just got my first property for Make the Home Smile. Well, for Smile Trust. There we go.
We got an exclusive. You heard first on Trappin Ain't Dead. Yes,
That's right.
we love that. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
It's in Liberty City. I just signed the documents this past week, and
That's
it's
dope.
ours. We have this huge opportunity to streamline food into food deserts to help out a lot of people, thousands of people across the county, and we're looking to scale this model. But it took years. I started with 25 sandwiches in overtime. And on top of all of that, we just got our first vehicle. So every month we borrowing people cars and trucks for 5 years to get food different places, and do all these different things. And it took a long time. Like, I was taking courses and learning and doing boot camps and fellowships to learn how to build this thing out, taking grant writing classes and all of these things and learning how to pitch and taking hits and all of this different stuff. I remember one time I'm out here feeding the homeless and I ain't had groceries in my house. We fed 23,000 people after the hurricane. I went home starving. Bank account in the negative. Credit card maxed. You get what I'm saying?
Talking about some Munch, man. Where you at?
Right. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
After feeding everybody else. And that was the unsmart thing to do, right? Because unless I'm healthy, I can't help nobody else, right? We have to start thinking better. When we build programming, when we do all of this different stuff, our community has so many gaps. We have to do better on how we build things, right? We have to open up businesses that can scale so that we can get employees. And then that means you have to know how to be a good manager. You can't just be spending the company's money on your new car. It don't work like that. You know, look at Lex Pierre. You see where he came from a years back, and look where he is now. Like, he's amazing. I love to see him grow. You know, it's so many people I can name in South Florida that I saw grow over the past few years. I'm just like, yo, Danny Spikes with Beloved Box. Like, come on.
Roots, Black House, where we at?
Black
We're
House.
in the Black
Come
House.
on, Roots Collective. I remember we used to have our little Fight the Power meetings over there on 54th Street. Down the street from here. Yeah, we around here canvassing the beans by ourselves, all that. People don't know all that. Like, we've been out here in these streets a long time, but it took us a lot of learning. And look now. Look where we are, and we still got growing to do, right? It's still the beginning. But I think that Miami is learning to build systems. We're building systems. We're building programming that's going to help us scale. And even if we don't see it right now, I believe in 10 years, they're going to be like, them was some smart motherfuckers 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that. And I'm so happy to be a part of the number of people. And yes, it's a lot that we have to do. It's the media. It's the crime, right? Because we got to deal with that. It's the poverty, it's the housing, it's this, it's that. And we got climate change to deal with here. We got all these different things, but I am so proud that people are like owning shit, creating space, talking to people, letting community know what it is we have going on, letting the community help us build solutions and things like that, and empowering people where we can, because that's where it's going to work. Because God forbid something happens to one of us, right? This work has to continue, right? Everybody talk about Nipsey. That's what he was talking about. He wanted to build something that if and when he did leave here, the work continues. That's what he meant. What to me, the marathon meant.
No, that's what he meant.
Yeah, like you pass the baton. That's why you have to create something that can carry on once you leave. Because Nip not here no more. But his work is still alive.
They had to shut the shop down in order to keep it, in order to get the orders out.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. And look, now people got jobs, so he's still pouring money and resources into his fucking community, even in his passing, right? And that's what we want. We want to create.
We poured into his foundation with the vigil. So, yeah, it's been a lot that Nip has been doing. On to a lighter note.
A lighter note.
And talking about people, the People Manifest is in another week.
Yes, it is.
You know, and you know, I know you have some involvement with it as well as Janéy. I'm just the ambassador. You know what I mean? But
And
yeah, let's
honoree.
talk about that. Huh?
And honoree.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yes, you do. Cut it out.
Oh, what? I ain't what? Nah, probably didn't.
We need to check with Yvette. But People Matters Festival.
Yes.
Yeah, Janéy.
People
Liberty
Matter.
City.
Janéy, tell them about the People Manifest for those who don't know.
People Matter Fest is the brainchild of Papa Keith, veteran radio host, media personality, DJ, whatever you want to call him. But he woke up about as he says, like
4 years ago.
about 4 years ago, and decided to invest in the community. And he wanted to do it through hip hop because he's on a hip hop station. So we were talking when I was working at iHeart, and he's like, Janéy, I need to do this, and you got to introduce me to some people. And I was like, at that time, I think I had just connected with you guys earlier that year in 2016 with Life Collective. And I was like, I know who you need to talk to in order to make this happen. And so Papa Keith met V. They hit it off. They were like, it's like, I don't even, like, they always knew each other. And V handles a lot of pretty much spearheads and manages the grassroots portions of the festival, getting the word out, making sure we're touching the people, and the 24-hour ceasefire, making sure we're doing that the right way and connecting the right way. And so the festival is a day-long event. It's food trucks, it's bounce houses, it's an art installation, it's a father and son basketball tournament, it's football, and of course there is a hip-hop festival, and it all happens in Liberty City.
In the city.
In a world-class
All for
festival.
$3.99.
Nice, free, and for a community that gets overlooked. Like, when the last time somebody had a festival here
Never.
for us?
City.
Never.
You know, and so Papa Keith thought that was something that, you know, he wanted to bring to the community. And his main thing that he cares about is that 24-hour ceasefire. Like, he legit does not want anybody to die from gun violence.
So talk about the ceasefire a little bit.
So, like Janéy said, she introduced me to PK around election time 2016. He took me to Concavin, one of my favorite restaurants.
I remember
we
that.
And like she said, like, it felt like I'd known PK my whole life, like a big brother. And I had just lost my goddaughter that year, a few months before.
Yeah.
And when we were talking about it, he told me about the festival. And then I was telling him, because actually that same day, he was at Miami-Dade that day.
Yeah.
And I did a video about the gun violence that was happening to the youth in Miami. And he was just like, well, what are some of the solutions that we can do? And I didn't have much answers at the time because I was still depressed from Jada. But just talking to him over time, we
had the other stuff we was working on at the time too.
Yeah, it was a lot. Charles Kinsey hit.
Yeah.
Life Collective was moving.
And we was moving with some other legislation nationally.
Right.
I remember that time, you know, with
the gun violence stuff. We was back and forth
to
Oakland, me and Munch, learning about ceasefires and how to decrease gun violence and the peacemakers and all that. So me and Munch was trained on that stuff, and they doing a lot of that stuff now here locally, which I'm happy to see. But when me and PK talked about it, and he just was like, you know, that's something he really wanted to start, because we talk about it a lot in hip hop, and he was like, you know, people like give hip hop a really bad rap, but then also hip hop saves a lot of people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And when he said that, I was like, good, because I wanted to work on gun violence, but I was afraid to touch it because we criminalize our communities when working on gun violence. It's just be like, throw everybody in prison. And I don't like that, right? Because it's only 0.5% of our population that actually commits gun violence, right? So you're finna punish
1/2%.
Right. Like 95% of a population for what a small group of people are doing, that's foolish in my eyes. So I don't ever like to be a part of any programming that is punitive and that's bringing like a damper or a black cloud over our community. And when PK came up,
you want to put that in perspective, that 1/2 or 1%. So let's just say a 10,000, a town of 10,000 people, which we know that ain't the case. We got about 20, about
3
60,
mil.
Yeah, I know we got 3 mil in Miami. How much in Liberty City?
It's about 50,000
50,
people.
50. So, let's just say 10,000 because I don't want to do the numbers, but 1% of 10,000 is what? $1. So it's only one. So 50 is 5.
Right.
So half of that 5 is 2.5 people, 3 people. Just to put that in perspective, is and it varies in different places. That's the average. That's the national average. But it varies in different places. So it's the one bad apple spoils the bunch.
Right.
And I always say that, and people just look at me crazy.
And then it's concentrated, right? Because the gun violence only happens in select communities, so it hits the same families over and over again, or the same communities, so you get tired of it. So when we were in Oakland, we found out that it was 17 people causing all of the murders in their city. 17 people.
Yep.
Right? The number's probably around the same here. That's like the root cause of the gun violence. So when PK came forward about the festival, I loved the idea. And then when he was like, I want to do it in Liberty City, I loved it even more. One, I'm from Liberty City. I live in Liberty City. And I always want to bring good things to our community. I think Liberty City, I think every black community deserves to have good, positive, safe events that they don't have to go to the beach for or downtown for or spend a lot of money to attend. And he told me the idea of the festival, and he told me where he needed my help, and I told him, yeah. So, I mean, I could call PK to the projects, and we walk in the projects talking to people. I called PK to different events, church. He was meeting pastors, community leaders, whomever, and he was always there. He was humble enough. He wanted to meet everybody. He wanted to talk to people. He wanted the community to feel and know that this festival is for them. The first year we had some friction because some of our local leaders did not want to have a hip-hop concert in Liberty City because they thought it would bring a bad rep. So the first year we were not able to have the performances. But I give a shout out to all the Miami artists that still showed up to the festival to show us some love.
Can't say they ain't show the local artists no love. They ain't show love to the whole
And
team.
we do a very good job of making sure local artists are headlining and performing. As a matter of fact, both of the headliners, the big headliners we have are from Miami.
Yeah, this year.
Both years. Last year, too.
Yeah.
And all of the other artists are from Miami. Like, we haven't brought anybody from out of town yet.
Nope.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. But the 24-hour ceasefire, we do a lot of grassroots outreach. We talk to people. We don't just talk to random teenagers. We are very intentional and very specific on who we are out there talking to. So we do these pop-ups. We pass out flyers. We go knock on doors. But we know exactly where we're going. Yeah. So we go to the trenches, what they call it. Well, that's what I call it. But we go into spaces where we know that some of the stuff will happen. So, like, for example, the police will call it a red zone. So that's the area where a lot of crime happens. Yep. So 13th Avenue in the Beans is one of those places. Me and PK was walking through that thing at night talking to folks. They love us over there. They was talking with us. He had some of the guys who do hip-hop come on to the show or whatever, giving them an opportunity to get their talents out there. Ferrari Fred, Stacks, all them over there. And then we also did a pop-up barbecue in the middle of the hood. People be wondering, like, y'all be having it in a random place. It's not random. It's very intentional where we having it at because we have these events and we go to somewhere else and want these people to come to us. But we went to them. And this is the third year, but the first 2 years we have been 100% successful with the 24-hour ceasefire. And I am super proud about that because not just because we were able to put the guns down in the middle of the summer, which it gets really hot, not just the heat, but hot in other ways in Miami.
Shit gets real.
Right. But
nigga, we got time.
For real.
Too much sometimes.
But I love the fact that he has taken this tool of hip-hop and created a good, like, to see, like, Trick Daddy having a dance-off on the stage with Sam Sneak.
That was Mike Smith last.
That was
him and Sneak?
Yeah. And, like, they was having a dance-off on the stage, and, like, it be so Miami, and then Rick Ross came out, the City Girls, and, like, to hear the kids, like, is Rick Ross really coming to Gwen Cherry for free?
Yeah, a lot of people ain't. A lot of people thought they kept calling me like trying to find out like Munch. I know you know.
Like
And I'm like,
a little
he's
girl.
sliding, dog.
I'm on the I was on the Metro Rail the other day, and this little girl was like, they claim Trina gonna be at Gwen Cherry for free, and I'm like, she gonna be there. She gonna be there. They was like, but is it completely free? What we gotta do? Show up? They just so used to people taking from them. And then this festival is great. I mean, you should see the kids on the bounce houses and the train and the art and all of this stuff. Like, they be drawing murals. The community draw murals out there. It's
Shout
amazing.
Out to Muse.
Right,
Yeah.
shout out to Muse. Like, Udonis Haslam came out. He come out again this year. All this stuff happening. The father-son basketball. Shout out to Coach Larry, who PK met in the Poker Bean Projects. Found out this guy. He has he's a part of this youth basketball league in the community. He brought them in, and they actually materialized the basketball tournament themselves. So it's actually guys from Liberty City with youth from Liberty City actually doing it, and to do it during Father's Day weekend to uplift black men and their sons. It's even more amazing. It's been good, and just to see it grow over the last few years, this is something I would do every year because I want this to happen for my community. I love the fact that the kids and our families could be like, I can go to the park and not worry about it getting shot up and not worry about it thing, and I can enjoy hip-hop music. We had over 5,000 people on the park last year. We didn't even have a fight. Okay? Not one. To the point that the police department came back and was like, that was the easiest off-duty detail we ever did.
Wow.
Like, they knew nothing. They just sat there and enjoyed the concert. And you know what? Because we can't have safe spaces. We can listen to the stuff we like to listen to. We can enjoy our culture without being hurt, right? So we had conch fritters and conch salad and lemonade and, all the hood delicacies and the music. And then we had resource center, like the Village. We call it the Village.
Yeah, and it's going to be even bigger this year because of our partnership with Mayor Jimenez.
Yes. So we doing some good stuff. Like, you can get different things, and we got different sponsors come out. They give out free stuff all the time. We had over 60 volunteers last year. Shout out to the Circle of Brotherhood, who always come out and support.
Oh, and I gotta give a shout out to Lovely's, because we're also employing
Lovely's.
and partnering with businesses locally, and she sponsors the food. And I found the Black-owned water company.
Wow, dope.
Guy is from Miami too.
Oh, good.
Clean Water, you heard of
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
So Black-owned water company, and that's something too that PK made an effort. He tries to do all black vendors if he can. Sometimes he has to go, Hispanic, but he says black and brown, but they're always minority businesses that he
stick with POCs, absolutely. And then, like, he don't try to cut no corners. Like, we ain't using no rinky-dink stage. Like, we have big stage, like we had Jazz in the Gardens with the big jumbo screen, lights, all that. Celebrity DJs out there or whatnot. We have Stitches who be hosting. So we have like some of the best people coming forward, supporting and whatnot. Other DJs come out and support. Even other promoters come out and just be like, call us up. We'll help out with this stuff or whatever. We'll do this for the hood. And they love it. And it just felt so good to actually see Miami come together and put this on. And it was so good. And PK is just so humble around it. Like, even sometimes, and Janéy will tell you, sometimes we be having to push PK to be a little bit more aggressive because he is just so humble. Sometimes so humble that we be about to miss out on the opportunity. But he is such a good person. And, even dipping into his savings the first year. People don't know that. Like,
I think he does that every year.
Yeah, he be fronting the book. He front the bill. So he really genuinely cares. And, like, he even used, like, some of our old school local DJs, like Boda Lover always come through.
Pure Funk,
Spin.
G-Money.
Yeah, like, I love that because he knows, like, Boda Lover and
you understand? He came up on a lot of
Uncle Al, them boys been fighting gun violence. DJs in Miami has been fighting gun violence, peace in the hood, all that stuff been in the community for years. They've been trying to ask people to put the guns down through music and hip hop for years. That is Miami culture, right? So he just picked up the baton and he kept it going, and then he included all of these people in the festival, which made it even better. So, like, he checked in with these DJs.
That was
he checked in with Uncle Al Jr. Al Jr. He checked in with them boys. He wanted to see them. They a part of the festival. They do the little DJ battle thing or whatnot. So just to see that happening makes me really, really happy. Like, it's so Miami like centric, and it's so welcoming. Like we have people come from Fort Lauderdale come down to the festival. People come from down south. We do outreach in down south. We be all through the county doing pop-ups and talking to people and doing all these things. Yeah, throughout the whole year. So shout out to PK.
Yeah, Papa Q.
June 15th.
We deserve nice
June
shit.
15th. What time?
From 12 to 7 p.m.
No, I thought 11 to
11
to 6.
11 to 6.
Okay.
You know what? We
Pull up the flyer.
and the crazy thing is, people don't know that me and you we be working on this shit for about a year every
Listen,
year, and we
We
both,
gotta be there at 8 a.m. So
Exactly.
it don't matter.
That's why I'm like, I don't know what time it starts, but
I'll be there at 8.
I'm gonna pull up the I know Papa Keith has it on his page. Let me pull up
Yeah.
the flyer for y'all,
And then
just so we know the right.
The 24-hour
time.
ceasefire. We're doing some great stuff. It's gonna be amazing. We do deserve to live. We deserve to be safe.
11 to 7 p.m.
11 to
11
7.
a.m. 7 p.m.
Okay,
The
so y'all
festival,
make
guys.
sure y'all come
11
out. It is
a.m. 7
100%
p.m.
free, but you gotta buy your own food now.
Yeah.
But outside of that, we do that.
Everything
We
else
are
free.
looking for more volunteers. So holla at me if you want to do volunteers. No, the vending part is closed now.
Yeah, I think vending is
I
closed.
think we
but
finished.
if you hear this before that Saturday and you
Yeah.
if
Still
you want
holla
to
at us.
sponsor a vendor, hit us up. We'll see if we can make it work.
And
Speaking on People Matter, I want to switch shit up because I was trying to go to my phone.
Wait, I got a text from him too. I
And
see
all
you on
I'm
your
saying
phone.
is I'm in my phone. I'm on
Check
I'm
your
on
phone, B.
Instagram, and all I see is my dog Denzel Burnside. It says South Florida. Denzel Burnside III, the White Bullets' best friend, files to replace Keone McGee in the house.
Shout out
I'm
to
like,
Burns-
whoa, wait a minute.
Shout out to Burnside.
I'm like,
I
whoa,
got
bro.
I got the same alert.
My dog shooting off today, huh? I'm like, shit. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, but
Child.
yeah, he needed another. They messed up on the picture, but that's another thing.
child,
Yeah. So
I'm not ready for the shit show called the election season. I'm not.
yeah, I know,
Let
right?
the people matter.
Wait, I
Yeah.
know back to but V, you
No,
gonna have to
but-
come back and maybe we can talk about politics if you can.
No, the reason why is because we got to wrap up, and I wanted to get in about something that I know you actually went to school for it, and it's something you've been doing for a long time behind the scenes, and it speaks to a lot of the issues when you talk about we talked about black business, black media, and all these different things, but you have a piece of information, and Peace in the Hood is next week. So when we drop it, it'll be, of course, it'll be on Monday. We drop, but climate, Peace in the Hood is Thursday, and climate is one of the things that we'll be talking about on this Thursday. So I wanted you to just give them a brief introduction of what they could look forward to when they come here on Thursday. And at the same token, hurricane season we're in hurricane season right now.
So, yes. So, I am what I would call a hood environmentalist. I am not a scientist. I do have a formal education in international agricultural business, so I know about food safety and how climate change affects food and how us not having access to certain things makes us very vulnerable. But I do a lot of work around climate advocacy, and I teach workshops, not just here in Miami, but around the country, about climate change, how it affects underserved communities, and how we can create our own solutions, which we have did a lot around, and how we should be prepared for it. So people look at environmental justice and environmental science as a white people thing, and it's not that. So one, for clarity, it would have not been any environmental justice before our good brothers in Arkansas started to advocate against their government back in the 50s because solid nuclear waste was being dumped by their schools. So it's black people who created the whole fight the power around climate change. It was black people. So don't let nobody fool you thinking like the hippies doing Woodstock. No.
Wasn't them.
It was black communities.
Start everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then too, like
What we
I
do.
want black people to know and understand, like climate affects us too. Like black people, the hurricane don't care that you live in the hood. Like we all catching it. So I stepped out a few years ago, and I started just teaching basic, what I would call climate 101. It's the most simple, basic science that I could teach on why the climate is changing, right? How it affects our communities, one, through gentrification, right? You'll get the whole spiel on that. I ain't giving no more tea on that. But
Just know you gotta be there to get the presentation.
yeah, and
She got real facts.
And I mean, we did a lot of research on that here. So I traveled the country. Like I done spoke at MIT, Harvard, UCLA, different Ivy Leagues. They called me in. I just did a presentation at about climate gentrification because it is a real thing. Also about how we should be better prepared for hurricanes and how we could respond to our own communities, because we know that the Red Cross is not coming till a week later. We know the government may not come for 2 weeks, but we have to survive and we know how to, right? If we plan and be better prepared. So that's what the workshop is going to be about. I'm so excited. I did my first workshop ever in Liberty City. So to be back here again, I told myself during hurricane season every year, I'm going to be launching my workshops again, always in the community teaching. I do a really good job. I've crammed it into like this 45-minute hour presentation / workshop. It's going to be way more interactive, so it'll be more than an hour.
Different from the one I went to at the Circle of Brotherhood?
That was different. So what we were doing there was setting up our community hubs to prepare. So we have 18 community hubs around the city. So we stockpile hurricane supplies in the hood, different spots in the hood. So after storms, we know exactly where our stuff is. We pop our stuff out. We respond to our communities ourselves. So that's what you saw us doing. We was doing a mapping exercise to prepare the hubs. So we've been doing a lot of work for years, research, preparing communities, training community, collecting data, building maps. We actually got some new maps around some homesteading stuff, around home ownership that we're going to present at Peace in the Hood. Our sister Keelan going to come through and we're going to drop those maps. I got Nancy Mateer. I call it We the Climate Bays, who will be here to talk about hurricane preparedness in depth. She has some workshops to prepare our community for that. I'll be doing most of the climate and the science education piece and some of the workshop around that. So it's going to be really good. Black people enjoy it. I have a really good way of talking about science and climate change that black people love it. It'll be jokes. It'll be fun. It's not going to be a boring science class. Most people love it. I used to get a lot of good response about it. I'm happy to bring it to Peace in the Hood. I'm happy to bring it to the Roots Black House because it should be spaces like this. We should be talking about it. And I'll be doing one in Opelika soon. I'm partnering with Mayor Oliver Gilbert to do one soon in Miami Gardens. I'm so excited about it. Down in Goose, I'm going to be doing one. Coconut Grove, I did one in Overtown already. They're calling me into La Havana, and I'm going to do one in Alapata. And, of course, Little Haiti. So I try to do climate workshops everywhere, and I'm going to do some up in Broward, too. I'm working with some folks up there because we have to educate our communities. We have to be better prepared. We have resources, but we have to know how to prepare them and how to house them so we could be ready. The storms are going to get worse, right? This is not going to get better until we start doing better. It is a human issue. It was caused by humans, and we have to fix it. So that's what the workshop is going to be about. I'm really, really excited. So I hope everybody comes out and join us at Peace in the Hood this upcoming Thursday at 6:30?
6:30.
At the Roots Black House.
Right here where we at right now. We going to flip it, and y'all going to be like, ain't this way y'all do Trappin Ain't Dead? Yeah.
Yep. So y'all come out. It's supposed to be an in-person meeting. Y'all come out. Y'all going to leave with materials. I'm actually been trying to work with Home Depot to try to get some free hurricane supplies to start passing out. I don't know if I'm going to have it by Thursday, but I'm going to try. But Nancy is trying to get some materials, too, like some solar lights that we was passing out one time and some flashlights and stuff. But we have to start preparing. Hurricanes are coming. Storms are coming. When I go up north, I try to teach people like that polar vortex that happened in Chicago is real as fuck.
Yep.
So the hotter it gets here, the colder
colder
it's going to get there.
Yep.
And so like how we're going to have these rough summers, they're going to have really rough winters that they never experienced before. So we
heard-
all
not-
have to prepare.
Not to cut you off, but I heard it was 96 like 2 days ago.
Damn, already?
Yeah.
Already. We ain't even in the heat. Like, my birthday is the heat of the summer for me. So, we ain't even there. And it's 96. Now, mind you, I did time. I'm saying I did time. Like, did prison time. But I went to school out there in Arizona, dry heat. And I'm just like, and I always try to compare heat, humidity, that's dry heat and humidity. I always say, like, I did time in Arizona. Can't nothing really bother me. But then you compound that. It's 96 now. Like,
With the
I'm
humidity.
not, you know what I'm saying? 96 with humidity. That don't feel good.
I
You know what I'm
believe-
saying? You can bear dry heat, but that humidity when it gets sticky is on your clothes.
And you can't
feel
breathe.
stank. Like,
It's hard for you to breathe too.
And
Yeah.
a lot of us aren't hydrated properly.
Right.
that
And
too.
we're going to be talking about that too. A lot of
You
those
be
different
drinking
things.
Like a gallon. He used to tell
Yeah.
us some ball. We got to
and
drink a gallon a day.
you know, I'm trying to some stuff I'm trying to work on to try to get some water systems put in place. They got some in on the beach, like you could just take your water bottle and go to it, and it's filtered water, comes out cool, filtered water free. So I'm trying to see if we could try to get some of that stuff installed in our communities. Cooling stations, like just sitting down, not the bus stop, but places where like maybe some like the misting things can happen and like extra shading.
They should be in parks.
Right. We need to have them because it is hot. People are passing out. So it's going to be a hot summer. Last summer we had the hottest August ever in history. Ever.
All I'm
And
saying
if you
is we
come
getting
to Peace in the
highs already.
Hood, I'm going to teach you why it's getting that hot. So when you leave here, you're going to know why it's getting that hot, what you can do as an individual in the family to help decrease it. Come on now. Right? Teach you how to prepare, because it's not just the heat we need to worry about, it's the health that comes with the heat.
Yep.
So it's not just the stickiness and just the breathing, but also the disease that heat like that brings. So Zika was one of those things. That's real, super real, okay? A lot of health things happen. Our food safety comes into play. Our water quality comes into play. You know, a lot of the public housing don't have AC units and things like that. So that's some policy we did on the local level to make it mandated that all public housing and low-income housing has to have at least 1 unit of AC. I want to change policy that FP&L can't cut your lights off through the summer. Like how they do up north in the winter, they can't cut your lights off because you need the heat. So your light bill just could run up, but they can't.
I don't know.
But
They
we
cut
should
our shit
have
off.
something like that here in the
You
summer.
could fucking
Yeah.
Die from the heat. Yeah.
dehydration in
So.
the fucking house.
Yeah.
So we are working on some things, and there's a lot of things that we're working on, and I'm super excited and looking forward to sharing all this information to bring y'all into my world a little bit, outside of what y'all already see me do, but this is like the geeky science side of me that usually most people love, but they don't know all the time, like how I do it or when I do it, but I do a lot of research on it, and I love it. And I'm so happy to share my maps and all this information and like teach everybody just a little bit of something you can do at your house every single day that can help this bigger epidemic. It's just some simple things you can do. You're going to learn it on Thursday at Peace in the Hood.
Yes, this sounds
Yeet.
like so much fun, and I'll definitely be there. And hopefully I'll take some video and cover it for the blog.
Yeah, we gonna have. Forbes gonna be here, so whatever you need, just let me
Yay.
know.
Well, V, thank you so much. As always, it's a pleasure to have you here on the podcast.
She
And
broke
you
the
dropped
record for
so
the year.
many gems. And it's always a good conversation, always a real, honest conversation. So thank you. How can people find you on social media?
So I did good and learned some branding. So I'm Valencia Gunder on all platforms.
Okay.
You can find me through the hashtag Modern Day Fannie Lou. Starrick gave me that name after the hurricane, so I carry it. And the Smile Trust on all social media platforms. And our website is mthsmile.com. We are doing a fundraiser, so if y'all can help us out. I'm trying to fundraise for a van. And We are this close, so come on, push us over the payday tomorrow. So hook us up, and yeah, and y'all can catch me here on Thursday, and then that Saturday at the People Matter Fest.
People Matter Fest. Hey, Munch, this is a great show.
Yeah.
I loved it. Loved it. How can the people find you?
I was just about to be
social
like,
media?
how they find you? Because she's trying to beat me there.
I know, I was trying to get
Because what I was gonna say was shade. You know, they need to, that's gonna be one of our little things. Like, yeah, shade. Yeah.
Munch. I said it first though. How can they find you on social media?
I ain't learned all that branding shit.
Oh gosh.
But Machiavelli Munch, you know what I'm saying, and all like Minds Media, you know, follow me. I ain't gonna go through all that tonight. But how about you, Janéy?
Oh, see, you forgot.
Nah.
Anyways, you forgot. I got you.
Yeah, I did.
For me, it's all about pushing the brand right now, which is Hilo News. That's HYLONEWS. You could go to the website, HiloNewsMiami.com. And you can find us on all platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also, sign up for our newsletter. You could figure that out on the website as well. Thank you.
And we out, bitch.
Good
Thanks,
night.
bye.